let's just sew whatever. Today we are going to be cutting out the clear version of the Rosie sling. I have these new clear printed daisy vinyls that I'm going to use. I thought about using both the like teal or mint green and the purpley pink, but I think together it would just be a bit much, and I'm really digging this purple, and I'm going to pair it with just this pink glitter. I think that'll be really, really pretty. So I'm going to be using just the pink glitter for the middle panel because I want the print to be on the front and then not double layer of print. I'll probably use the clear for the pocket trim, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna grab a ruler, another ruler. I shouldn't need any other rulers than this, but I do have the templates from that template shop. We don't need all the pieces for the clear, and then throughout the pattern she gives little tips and tricks for how to make the clear version. So I'm going to start by cutting out my front pocket. You're going to want to cut this the exact way that the piece is showing, unlike if you were to cut it for or out of normal fabrics where it's the reverse image. Yeah, flip your piece over to cut your lining. So there's tips given on the pattern piece. And then you do not cut the darts out, you just trace them. I don't find that the templates are easy to cut those darts, or I should say trace those darts, don't cut those darts. So I prefer to use my paper pattern piece to mark those. And I think I'm probably just gonna take that to the cutting or my sewing table and then mark them there. All right, so there's our front panel. You could even use jelly vinyl and clear vinyl together if you'd prefer. That would be really cute. But that's all we need of the front pocket, so I can put that away. This is definitely the quick way to make it. You can also use clear for the front pocket and then use regular vinyl lining materials for the rest of the bag if you'd prefer to do it that way. So we'll cut out our back panel. This bag is finished with binding. And she mentions with TPU, you might find that there's less structure than you'd prefer. So you'd want to use a waterproof canvas or jelly vinyl to bind it for nice structure. But we'll see. I had a bin. Oh, I don't have a bin. Oh, it's so cute already. I just love this fabric. So that's it for this. However, there are helpful measurements given here. And we've got our gusset bottom piece. I think I might actually remove the backing finally for this. If you wanted to add a lot of structure to your gusset here, you could technically, no, I want this straight. You could technically cut 2 layers, maybe 1 clear, and 1 year print maybe, but I think it might just get a little too thick instead of actually giving it a decent amount of structure. I might be able to use this for a trim piece. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love it. So that's all we need of that. Making bags out of clear is such a time saver, truly. All right, where did I put my ruler? Right here. It's not quite 1 inch wide, so I'll cut it separate and I'll have to toss that. And I know that I need 2 strips of binding for the gusset. I don't think I'm going to use clear for that because I don't want to add that bulk, and then it's see-through, so it's kind of defeating the purpose of hiding your zipper tape. That's what I'm trying to say. So we've got our zipper panel here. You could do this out of your print, or you could do it out of clear. I like the idea of the print because it's still a clear bag, but you're keeping some things mysterious. So if you want your print to line up, you're going to line up your little triangles here. It's where your zipper goes. They nest inside of each other at an angle. This is the back, that's the front, yes. Sharpie. I'm just marking where these end. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this and cut this line nice and slow, making sure I'm keeping nice and tight on my template piece. Cutting that apart. And then cutting it on that Sharpied line. And then so that I don't forget where my zipper goes, I'm just snipping right at that placement. And then if you have 1/8 inch wide double-sided tape nearby, you could even tape that really quick just so you don't forget which is which. And now I'm done with this piece and put it away. Dang, it shifted. It's okay. We'll line that back up. And again, zipper at the top here. So we'll line that up. Just make a teensy snip where that goes. Because you might think later on like, oh, they go like this, but they nest inside of each other, just like that. Okay, so this might have a scrap big enough for us to use. Go ahead and set that aside. trying to decide if I want to use a solid vinyl accent or if I want to stick with clear. We've got our middle panel left to cut. We've got our clear slip pocket, D-ring anchor, our snap hook connector. I am going to use a 1-inch snap hook. I think it'll just be a little less overwhelming to the size of the bag. And then our rectangle ring connector and strap anchor. Oh, that was loud, sorry. Let's cut these clear pieces. Let's cut what we know for now. So I'm just making a little Sharpie mark on the center. Oh, it's so pretty. We're done with that piece. One thing I will say about working with clear vinyl is that sometimes it's a little disorienting. All right, so the perk of using a non-clear vinyl for my accent pieces is that you won't see the double-sided tape. And I like that idea a lot. So let me see what I have. That is stunning. I love it. I think this was wisteria, and it'll come back eventually. We're gonna use this. Yeah. I don't need this slip pocket. We're done. We need these 3 pieces, our front pocket trim, slip pocket trim, and then we'll figure out binding. So my front pocket trim needs to be just a little bit more than this ruler. And you want to make sure you cut it nice and straight. I'm going to make a 1/2-inch mark down the center and add 3/4 inch wide tape to the top and bottom. And then we'll grab our slip pocket trim. Repeat that same 1/2-inch mark. Tape to the top and bottom. Doot doot. Okay, then we've got these. And then you're going to trace out the edge here and make little tiny snips and fold it to meet against that line. Normally you'd have stabilizer in there as well, but I don't think we're going to stabilize this. And so it should end up being about 1.5 inches wide, because we're going to use a 1.5 inch wide square ring. And I'm good. Okay, so we don't need this piece anymore. So we just need these two. So I'm going to be using a 1.5 inch wide webbing and then adding a 1 inch snap hook, which is what this piece here is for. It is 1.5 inches wide to hide the edges of your webbing. And we're gonna cut one of these, and then we can even edge coat it if we want, but I probably won't. Like, I'm like saying no with my hand. I want to. I'm just saying I probably won't. Alrighty. Make a 1 inch center line, like just at it. So we're good. We're going to be folding this in, adding our D-rings, folding it, etc. So that's it for this piece. Actually, I think I have some like pink, maybe the pink binding. I don't know. Jelly vinyl is really fun to use for these. I'm just not sure if that's what I want to do. All right. So we're going to trace out this piece, and then we're going to cut it using scissors. Pretty much the last piece, like it's pretty quick. And then as we're cutting this, we want to use really long cuts. So I'm slowly closing the scissors and moving my fabric. I'm starting at the end, wobbling around, sliding my scissors, not lifting them up, slowly closing as I move the fabric. And we've got this little teeny tiny little place that we stopped. But we can fix it. Oh, it's pretty much as good as we're gonna get it. And then I will probably take a little piece of binding to help reinforce right here and just tape that. And then we'll wrap this around the edge of our webbing. So yeah, I'm not going to cut my binding because I'm going to use pre-made binding. I'll go over all the pieces, kind of put them in order. We have our zipper panel and our bottom gusset. Those will all get sewn together, and we'll need a little piece of binding for that. This is the top of my bag. This is my back panel. So I'm just kind of making little bundles of what's going to be put together. This is also going to go on the back of my bag, and then this is the slip pocket for that. These are so pretty together. This is my front, or I should say the middle panel. This is the front pocket, and then this is that binding. Shut up. It's beautiful. So I'm really excited to make this. I just need to grab hardware. We're gonna need 2 D-rings or triangle rings, a 1-inch snap hook, a 1.5-inch rectangle ring, 2 zipper pulls, and a little bit of zipper tape, a little bit of webbing, and I'll pick out my webbing. But I can't wait to make this with you. I hope you'll join me, and I will see you all later. Bye.